Picture the loudest, most aggressive environment you can possibly imagine.
Okay.
You are standing on a frozen sheet of ice. The air smells like sweat and ozone. The roar of 20,000 people is physically vibrating in your chest, screaming for blood.
It's a sensory overload.
Totally. And standing 40 feet away from you is the person the entire world says you are supposed to hate. The press calls it the bloodiest feud in professional hockey. The fans are screaming for you to take his head off.
It is the modern-day equivalent of a gladiator pit.
Exactly. To the cameras, to the sponsors, to the millions watching at home, these two men want to absolutely destroy each other.
That's the narrative.
But here is the hidden truth that absolutely no one in that arena knows. The only place these two men can truly be themselves is in the dark, in secret hotel rooms, where that hatred turns into something far more dangerous.
And that leads to the central question we're looking at today.
Right. How long can you sleep with the enemy before you realize he is the only person on earth who is actually on your side?
That is the tension that drives the story we are covering today. We are looking at the phenomenon of Rachel Reid's heated rivalry, but we're also looking at the cultural impact surrounding it, the recent TV adaptation, the upcoming sequel, Unrivaled.
And this incredible decade-long chess game played by two men, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov.
It's a huge story.
And we are not just summarizing a romance novel here. We are unpacking a story about public identity versus private truth and the extreme lengths elite athletes will go to protect their careers.
Absolutely. So where do we start?
So let's launch right into the architects of this rivalry. We have to go back to 2008. We have two rookies, and they couldn't be more different if they were, designed in a lab to hate each other.
Great. The contrast is deliberate and it is stark. It's engineered perfection. On one side, you have Shane Hollander.
The golden boy.
He is the captain of the Montreal Voyageurs. He is Canadian. He is disciplined. And he is essentially the golden boy of the league.
Let's talk about that golden boy label for a second.
Yeah.
Because in hockey, that means something very specific. He's the guy who eats plain chicken and broccoli, right?
Oh, 100%.
He's the guy who never says the wrong thing in an interview. He gives you all the cliches. We gave 110%. Pucks in deep.
Exactly. He is the image of perfection that the league wants to market. He has a spotless reputation, he's serious, and he has internalized the idea that to be a captain, especially in a market like Montreal, you have to be boring and perfect.
And Montreal is a pressure cooker.
It's the biggest pressure cooker in the league. He is repression personified. He believes that if he shows a single crack in the armor, the whole facade comes down.
So he's the safe option. He's the guy you want your daughter to date and the guy you want leading your team because he's predictable. He's stable.
Precisely. And then on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, you have Ilya Rozanov.
The villain.
The villain.
Yeah.
Captain of the Boston Bears. He's Russian. He's flashy. He's incredibly cocky. He calls himself the king of the ice.
And he really leans into that Russian villain trope, doesn't he? It's like he read the script and decided to play the part better than anyone could have written it.
He does, and that's a crucial point. In North American sports media, there is often a bias. You see it all the time.
Sure.
North American players are praised for grit and heart. Russian players are often stereotyped as enigmatic, individualistic, or mercenaries.
Right, like they're just here for the paycheck, not for the love of the game.
Exactly. And Ilya knows this. He knows they want a villain, so he gives them the best show in town. He drives fast cars. Sources mention he'd probably be driving something like a flashy sports car in 2026. And he plays with a smirk.
He enjoys being the bad guy, or at least he enjoys the freedom it gives him.
It's a shield. If everyone already thinks you're an arrogant jerk, you don't have to worry about pleasing them. You can just be yourself.
So you have the soldier and the rock star.
Perfect analogy.
And they meet at the World Junior Championships in 2008. And the friction is instant. It's not just that they are competing. It's a personality clash. Shane looks at Ilya and sees everything he's not allowed to be.
Loud, free, unapologetic.
Yeah. And Ilya looks at Shane and sees, well, what does he see?
I think he sees a challenge. You know, Ilya is used to dominating everyone physically and mentally. He gets in their heads.
For sure. He's a master trash talker.
But Shane is the only one who doesn't bow down. Shane looks at him with genuine annoyance, not fear. And that excites Ilya. It's something new.
It's like, oh, you're not impressed. Interesting.
Exactly. But what's fascinating is how the league and the media take this natural friction and weaponize it. They market it as the heated rivalry.
Of course they do.
It's the Sidney Crosby versus Alexander Ovechkin dynamic, but dialed up to 11. They put them on all the promo materials. They schedule their games for prime time.
Oh, absolutely. It's the narrative that sells tickets. Come see the Golden Boy take down the Russian villain. It sells jerseys. It drives TV ratings. It's a gold mine for the marketing department.
But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the core irony of the whole deep dive we're doing.
Okay.
That public narrative, it's a smokescreen. The rivalry is the most valuable marketing asset the league has, but for Shane and Ilya, that public animosity provides the perfect cover for their private activity.
Right. I mean, who would suspect that the two guys trash-talking each other on ESPN are meeting up in a hotel room 2 hours later?
No one. It's the last thing anyone would think of. The louder they hate each other in public, the safer they are in private.
That's fascinating. So the more they fight on the ice, the less anyone questions what they're doing off the ice.
Think about it. If they were friendly, if they were seen grabbing dinner, rumors might start.
Are they friends? Is Shane losing his competitive edge? Why is he hanging out with the enemy?
Precisely. But because they are enemies, no one looks twice. Their public feud is their private invisibility cloak.
It's invisibility through hypervisibility. Look at how much we hate each other. Acts as a shield.
It's a brilliant survival strategy, even if they didn't, plan it that way initially. It just sort of evolved.
So let's talk about that private arrangement. Because this isn't a traditional romance where they go on dates to the movies. This is logistical.
Yeah.
It sounds exhausting.
It's extremely logistical. We are talking about the mechanics of a secret affair in the age of smartphones and social media, where any fan with a camera can blow your life up.
The constant paranoia.
Constant. The setup is strict. They only meet when their teams are in the same city.
Which, given the NHL schedule, is only a few times a year. Maybe 3 or 4 times, plus playoffs if they're lucky.
Precisely. It's a relationship built on scarcity. That scarcity makes every meeting incredibly intense.
So where are they meeting? How do they pull this off?
The sources mention a few places. Ilya's penthouse, which is probably easier to secure, anonymous hotel rooms booked under fake names, or secret apartment buildings where they can use the back service elevators, the freight elevators.
Wow, so they're literally sneaking around like spies?
Absolutely. And the dynamic, at least at first, is governed by rules. Unspoken rules.
What kind of rules?
It is supposed to be just sex. A release of tension. No talking about feelings. No dates. No sleeping over until morning.
It's transactional. Or at least they try to convince themselves it's transactional.
Right. It has to be. In their minds, if it's just a hookup, it doesn't threaten their careers. If it's just a hookup, Shane doesn't have to confront his sexuality.
It's just blowing off steam.
Yeah.
A physical thing.
Exactly. It's a pressure valve for two guys living under immense scrutiny.
But, and this is my favorite part of the source material, you can see the cracks in that armor almost immediately. There's this one detail from the sources, the tuna melt scene.
Ah, yes, the tuna melt. It sounds trivial, but it's pivotal. It's such a small moment, but it says everything.
It sounds so ridiculous. The great Ilya Rozanov making a sandwich. But think about the context. You have Ilya Rozanov, this hockey god, who probably has people to do everything for him.
For sure. He's got assistants, a cook, whatever he wants.
And he's standing in his kitchen making a tuna melt for Shane Hollander because Shane is hungry.
It's domesticity creeping into a strictly physical arrangement. And that is the danger zone for them.
How so?
Because when you start feeding someone, when you start asking if they want ginger ale, which Ilya does, you aren't just rivals hooking up anymore. You are caretaking. And for Shane, who lives this incredibly isolated, disciplined life where he denies himself any pleasure or comfort.
Boiled chicken and broccoli.
Exactly. For him, that act of service is massive. It's a kind of tenderness he probably never gets from anyone else.
It's almost more intimate than the sex, isn't it?
In many ways, yes. Sex can be physical. Sex can be compartmentalized. But making someone a sandwich because you want them to be nourished, that is care.
It creates this weird dissonance, doesn't it?
Huge dissonance. On the ice, Ilya is slashing Shane's ankles. He's trying to run him through the boards. Off the ice, he's making him comfort food.
How do you even process that? Your brain must just short circuit.
It must. But we have to talk about the tension of discovery here, because it's not just about, oh, I hope my teammates don't find out because they'll tease me.
No, no. The stakes are professional suicide.
We have to look at the context of the fictional universe this is set in, which mirrors reality quite closely. The closet in professional sports is a fortress.
Especially in a hyper-masculine sport like hockey.
Right. We know from the first book in this series, Game Changer, which focuses on Scott Hunter, that the fear is paralyzing.
Right. Scott Hunter was terrified that coming out would destroy his draft stock or his team dynamic. He thought his career would be over before it even started.
And Shane has internalized that even more deeply. He's not a rookie. He's a captain. He's an established star. He believes he cannot be gay and be a captain.
Why? What's the logic there?
He believes his leadership depends on his image of traditional masculinity. That his teammates wouldn't respect him, that the media would eat him alive, that it would become a distraction.
All the classic excuses.
All of them. So every time they meet, there is this thrill, but it's mixed with genuine terror.
There's a scene mentioned in the sources, a bathroom scene, or similar close calls where they almost get caught. It's that heart-stopping moment where the door handle turns.
And you realize your entire life could end in the next 5 seconds.
Just the adrenaline of that. I can't even imagine.
And that terror, in a weird way, feeds the adrenaline of the relationship, makes it more potent, but it also reinforces the enemy dynamic.
Oh, so.
They lean into the rivalry to protect themselves. They have to overcompensate in public. They film commercials together. There's a great detail about them shooting a promo spot where they have to insult each other.
That's next level.
They're literally paid to stand there and say, I'm going to crush you or you're going down. And they know that in 3 hours, they're going to be in bed together. It's wild.
The mental gymnastics required to live that life must be exhausting.
It's a psychological game. Ilya loves to provoke Shane. He pokes the bear. He knows exactly which buttons to push to get a reaction out of him on camera.
And Shane pretends to hate it, but the sources suggest he craves the challenge.
I think he does because, and this is key, they are the only ones who truly understand the pressure the other is under.
That's the connection, isn't it? It's not just physical.
It can't be. No one else knows what it's like to be the face of a franchise, to carry the weight of a city, except the guy standing across the face-off circle.
Right. Your goalie doesn't get it, your winger doesn't get it, but the other captain, he gets it.
Exactly. They are peers in a way no one else can be. Even their teammates don't understand the burden of being the guy. Shane and Ilya do.
Wow.
And that creates a bond that's deeper than the rivalry.
So this isn't just a quick fling. This goes on for years. We're talking about a timeline that spans from 2008 all the way to 2017 and beyond.
It's a slow burn. It's the long game. A secret that lasts for nearly a decade.
Which is almost unheard of in that world.
And watching them mature over that decade is fascinating. You see them grow from boys into men while keeping this secret locked down.
Let's hit a couple of those key chronological markers. Let's go to 2011, the NHL Awards in Las Vegas.
Okay, yeah. High drama. Shane wants to win Rookie of the Year or perhaps a major trophy depending on the specific year, but let's say it's a huge career milestone.
It's the biggest night of his young career. All the cameras are on him.
And who is his main competition? Who is the other finalist for the award?
It has to be Ilya Rozanov, of course.
Yeah.
It's always Ilya.
It's always Ilya. So imagine the tension. You are sitting in a tuxedo surrounded by cameras in a massive auditorium in Vegas, waiting to hear if you are the best in the world.
And sitting right next to you, or a few seats down, is the man you are secretly sleeping with. The man who might steal this award from you.
It's excruciating. You have to smile for the cameras, you have to look cool and collected, you have to play the part.
And if Ilya wins, Shane has to look gracious. He has to clap.
He has to be the first one to stand up and clap. And if Shane wins, Ilya has to put on that indifferent smirk, like he doesn't care.
And meanwhile, your heart is probably racing for 2 completely different reasons. 1, for the award, and 2, because this person is right there.
It perfectly encapsulates the duality of their lives. The public performance versus the private connection. The whole world is watching them as rivals, but the real drama is the one nobody can see.
Okay, so let's jump forward. 2014, the Sochi Olympics. This shifts the dynamic again.
It really does, because now they are in Russia. This is Ilya's home turf.
So he's the hero there.
He's a national hero. And the political and geographical distance is huge. Ilya's dealing with immense family pressure.
What kind of pressure?
The sources mention a complicated relationship with his father, who is very demanding. And in Russia, the expectation for the hockey team is gold or failure. There is no silver medal.
And Shane?
Shane is there, representing Canada, feeling the isolation of being in a foreign country where he definitely can't be himself. He's surrounded by his teammates, but he's completely alone.
And they can't meet. They're in the Olympic Village. It's impossible.
Exactly. The security is too tight, so they're in the same place, but more separate than ever.
And this is where we see the technology shift the relationship, right? We move from just meeting up in hotels to the Skype and FaceTime era.
This is a critical pivot point, a huge one. Before, if they weren't in the same city, they didn't exist to each other. They could compartmentalize.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Right. But now, they are video calling. They're finding ways to connect across continents.
There's a specific detail about Ilya asking for a tour of Shane's bedroom over video chat.
Yeah, and on the surface, it seems kind of voyeuristic or just playful, but it's actually about intimacy.
How do you mean?
He wants to see Shane's space, his real space, not a generic hotel room. He wants to see the color of the sheets, the books on his nightstand. He wants to visualize where Shane lives when he's not there.
So he's trying to bridge that gap.
The voice and video bridge the gap between the teams, between the countries. It breaks down the walls they've built.
It changes the relationship from enemies with benefits to something else. What would you call it?
I'd call them reluctant confidants. It's not just about sex anymore. It can't be.
They're actually talking.
They're really talking. They start relying on each other for emotional support, even if Shane refuses to admit that's what he's doing. They talk about their games, their slumps, the pressure from their coaches.
They become each other's therapists. Because who else could they talk to?
Nobody. They're the only two people on the planet who understand each other's lives.
And the sources imply that Ilya is the one who realizes the feelings first. He's the one who figures it out.
Yes. Ilya is more in touch with his desires, even if he hides them behind arrogance. He knows what he wants. He realizes he's fallen in love.
But he doesn't say anything.
He stays silent. And you have to ask, why? Why wouldn't he say it?
Because he's scared.
He's terrified. Because he knows Shane isn't ready. He knows if he says, I love you, Shane might run. Shane might panic and think, this is getting too real. I have to stop.
The Golden Boy programming would kick in.
Exactly. The walls would go right back up. So Ilya keeps the rivalry mask on to keep Shane in his life. He plays the game.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Loving someone but having to pretend you just want to hook up because you're terrified they'll leave if you get too real.
It's a tragedy of communication. They are stuck in this stalemate for years. They're circling each other, getting closer, but never quite.
Making the leap.
Right. Until, of course, the breaking point.
The breaking point. Section 4 of our dive.
Yeah.
Every long con has to crash eventually. Every secret has a shelf life.
And for Ilya, it's personal tragedy that forces the issue.
Right. We learn about Ilya's family history. It's pretty dark.
Very dark. His mother's suicide, which is a cloud that's been over his entire life. It explains a lot about his I don't need anyone attitude.
It's a defense mechanism.
Completely. And then his father dies. And his father was abusive, difficult, a very complicated figure. But it's still his dad. It's a massive emotional blow.
And the cocky Russian mask just falls off. It shatters.
Gone. He's not the king of the ice anymore. He's just a lonely guy who lost his dad and is dealing with this immense grief.
He's crumbling.
He is crumbling. He needs support. And this is where Shane surprises us. The golden boy. The rule follower, the guy who lives his life in a straight line.
He does something completely out of character.
He decides to break all the rules, the most important rule of all.
He invites Ilya to the summer cabin, or the cottage, as they say in Canada.
The location is symbolic. This is not a neutral hotel room. This is Shane's private sanctuary. It's off the grid. No media, no hockey, no fans. It's where he goes to be himself.
So by inviting Ilya there, he is saying,
I want you in my real life. Not just the hotel life.
That is the violation of their arrangement. That's the biggest step he could possibly take.
They aren't supposed to do domestic. They aren't supposed to do weekends away. That's boyfriend territory.
And Ilya goes.
Of course he goes.
Yeah.
And that trip, that's what creates the environment for the twist.
Because the twist isn't that they're gay. You know, the audience for this story pretty much knows that going in.
No, that's not it. The twist is the realization that the rivalry was never hate. It was always obsessed admiration.
Explain that.
Shane admits he was never annoyed by Ilya. He was obsessed. He watched all of his games. He studied his moves. Ilya was the only player he considered his equal.
And Ilya?
Ilya admits the same. The trash talk, the arrogance, it was all a performance to get Shane's attention, to make Shane see him.
They finally confess. They admit they are in love.
It's this beautiful moment of surrender after almost 10 years of fighting it. They are finally safe.
And then
Crash.
the ultimate terror, the one they've been avoiding for a decade. The terror of discovery finally happens.
Shane's parents show up, unannounced.
It's the classic nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
You are at the cabin with your secret lover who the world thinks is your mortal enemy, and mom and dad pull into the driveway.
Shane must have thought his life was over. I mean, truly, in that second, he must have thought, this is it. I'm disowned. I'm outed. My career's gone. The adrenaline in that scene is higher than Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Your whole world is about to either explode
Or not.
or not. And here is the twist within the twist. The acceptance.
His parents don't freak out.
Shane's parents are surprised, sure. I mean, who wouldn't be? But they don't reject him. They see that he's happy. They see that Ilya makes him happy. And they accept him.
And that acceptance gives Shane the ground he needs to stand on. It's the validation he's been missing his whole life.
It breaks the fear loop. He realizes the world won't end. His family still loves him. Maybe this is possible.
However, they don't walk out of that cabin and hold a press conference.
No.
They don't pull a Scott Hunter and come out to the world immediately.
No, and I think that's a very realistic decision given the time frame. We are talking roughly 2017 or 2018 in the book's timeline. The world of sports was, and still is, a complicated place.
So they decide to stay in the closet to protect their careers.
For now, yes. But they changed the terms of engagement. They're a real couple now, in secret. But they need a way to be together that isn't just sneaking into service elevators.
And they come up with this genius maneuver, the mental health charity.
This is brilliant. It's the smartest move they make in the entire story. They launch a joint charity in honor of Ilya's mother.
And publicly, what's the story they sell?
Publicly, they say, we are putting aside our differences for a good cause. This is bigger than hockey.
Which is a narrative the media loves.
They eat it up. It gives Shane and Ilya a public excuse to be seen together.
Right. If they are just rivals, grabbing dinner is suspicious.
But if they are co-founders of a charity, they have to meet. They have to plan events. They can go to galas together. They can do photo ops. They can look at each other with respect.
And the press writes these glowing stories about maturing sportsmanship. Look at these two, growing up and burying the hatchet.
Meanwhile, they are burying the hatchet because they are partners. They hide their love in plain sight.
It's the ultimate subversion of the rivalry narrative.
Yeah.
They use the media's desire for a redemption arc to cover their relationship.
It's so smart. It allows them to breathe. It allows them to be together without the constant fear. They've found a loophole in the system.
So looking at the legacy of this story, we know from the sources and from the recent news about the book Unrivaled and the TV show that the story continues. It doesn't end at the cabin.
Right. The timeline extends into the future. We know they eventually end up on the same team.
In Ottawa.
Which is wild. The idea of the captain of the Voyageurs and the captain of the Bears playing for Ottawa together.
For the Senators. That's like, I don't even know the comparison. It's earth-shattering for hockey fans in that universe.
It would break the internet. But it's the only way they could be together day to day. They sacrifice being the kings of their respective cities to be together in a smaller market.
A huge sacrifice professionally, but not personally.
And we know they eventually marry. But what's fascinating is the meta-context. The TV adaptation starring Hudson Williams and Connor Story has brought this story to a massive new audience.
It's interesting how the sources mention the actors. It adds this layer of realism. Like Shane and Ilya are real historical figures that are now being played by actors on a prestige TV show.
It blurs the line between fiction and reality, makes it feel more immediate. And it sparked a whole new wave of interest in the original heated rivalry.
And the title itself, when you look back at it, after knowing everything, it changes meaning completely.
It really does.
That's the aha moment for me. We spent the whole time thinking heated meant angry. We thought it was about animosity.
But heated meant passion. The heat wasn't from friction, it was from attraction.
Wow.
They were never truly rivals in the sense of wanting the other to fail. They were partners in a game no one else knew was being played.
They pushed each other to be better because they were the only ones worth impressing.
Their rivalry made them legends, but their love made them whole.
It completely reframes the whole decade. Every hit, every goal, every glare across the ice, it was all foreplay.
Essentially, yes. It was a courtship display broadcast on national television, and nobody had a clue.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave the listener with something to think about. We live in a world that demands clear labels. You are a hero or a villain. You are a friend or an enemy. You are on the home team or the away team.
Binaries. We love binaries. They are simple. They make things easy to understand.
Exactly. But Shane and Ilya prove that the most important things happened in the gray areas, the messy, complicated spaces in between the labels.
That's where life actually happens.
So I want to ask you, in a world that demands you pick a side, how far would you go to protect the one person who makes you feel like neither? And the next time you see a heated rivalry on the news, whether it's sports or politics or celebrity feuds, ask yourself, is that smoke?
And if it is, what is it hiding? Always look for the smoke screen.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you on the next one.